Yeah, good morning, everyone. So we'll just get start in another 5 minutes. I'm just waiting for everyone to join. Please be on the call. And I
Yes, sir.
request everyone to please go on mute. And video is also not required. You can close your video if anyone is enabled.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Karthik. So I'm going to facilitate the session on the Lambda's workshop. So before getting started, I just wanted to ask you guys, are you able to hear me and then see my screen clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Guys, throughout this course, since it is a workshop and many of you have joined, so I request you guys to please put your questions in the chat box, or whenever I ask any questions, like let me complete the explanation and then I'll turn it over for the questions, then you can ask your questions. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started. So those who do not know me, my name is Karthik. I'm having around 13 years of experience in the software industry. I'm working for one of the MNC as a technical architect. So I have been with Ashok IT since more than 1.5 years. I've taught around 20 or 22 batches on data structures, design patterns, core Java, advanced Java, Java 8, 9, 11, and others. So my entire experience is onto the Java and Java related frameworks. So today I am going to facilitate this session on the Lambda's workshop. So let's get started. Let me share, open the word now. So basically from Java 8, so from Java 8 onwards, the programming has changed completely. So there is something called Lambda as introduced in Java 8. So now first, what is a Lambda? So Lambdas are already present in the Python programming language. It is just new for the Java only. It is not new for the software industry. So you can write a Lambda in the Python, but you can write a Lambda only in the Java 8. Now, before getting started, now, now for in normal Java, we can have a interface. For example, I have an interface called test. Until Java 8, the interface can allow only abstract methods. So if I have an abstract method in the interface, what is the way to use that? Create a class, implement the interface, override the abstract method, and then create an object for the class and then access the method. That is the general way of accessing an method declared in the interface. But you can modify this or you can simplify this using the Lambda. Now, first we are going to see what is the general way of using a interface, and then we'll see the definition of Lambda, and we'll write multiple Lambdas, and then we'll see what is the advantage of using the Lambda. Now, let me get started. I'm just opening the Eclipse. So in this Eclipse, I just have created a new workshop or new workspace called Lambda Workshop. Now I'm going to create a Java project. Go to File, New, Other, Java. Select the Java project. Click on Next. You can give Lambda Workshop. I'm selecting the Java runtime environment as Java 8. Because Lambdas is introduced in Java 1.8, first select it as a 1.8. Click on Next. And then click on Finish. So it has created a workshop called folder project structure called Lambda's Workshop. Now under this SRC folder, I'm just creating a package. New package com.ashokit.lambda workshop. Package name should be small letter, right? As per the Java convention. I'm just creating a. So what is the thing that we have done? So in Java, if I have an interface, let us create an interface. I'm just taking an example that I have spoke around 2 minutes ago. So I'm just creating an interface called test. I think I have selected, yeah, Java interface. Yeah, let me increase the font. Yeah, so now I just have created an interface. Now what does the interface will allow? Abstract method. Now let me add one abstract method. Okay, abstract method is something which does not have a body of the method, right? Now, in order to use this interface in Java, generally everyone know that we need to use a class. Create a class. I'm creating a class called example. Now so now in this example class, why am I using this example class? I want to use this interface display method. Currently display method. Yeah, I request everyone, whoever is joining newly, please go on mute. Thank you. So interface, in the interface, we can have an abstract method. The meaning of abstract method is it does not have a body. So how can I provide a body of this method? Through the implementation. How can we do? Example, implements test. So whenever I implement, I need to override the abstract method present in the interface. Add unimplemented methods. So I'll write just sysout display method. Display method. Now, if I have to call this method, what should I do? I have to create an object of this example class and then call the method, right? Now let me, in order to create an object, I need a main method. I am writing a main method. Now, what is the way to create an object in Java? Class name, the syntax is like this, right? Class name, reference variable equal to new class name. Now, example is a class, E is a reference variable, new example. So I have just created an object of an example class. Now, how can I call this display method? E.display. Because once you create it, you have overridden. So you need to call the method so that this gets executed. Now, if I run this program, can someone tell me what is the output in the chat, please? If I run this program, what is the output? It gets displayed. You can respond your answer in the chat. Guys, please respond your answer in the chat box. Are you guys able to understand what I'm asking? Yeah. Yeah, display method, right? Now display, let me run as Java application. I see that response as a display method. Yeah. So can I say this is how we use the interface in Java so far? Yes. Now from Java 8 onwards, the new concept has come, which is called as a Lambda. Now, what is a Lambda? So now what is a Lambda? So before going, so now the question is, what is a Lambda? What is the use of a Lambda? How can I write a Lambda? Now you need to look at here. Let's remember one statement that I'm writing here. This is very important. Lambda corresponds to an interface. Specifically, abstract method present in interface. Okay. So now, so you need to remember this statement. I'm going to prove this statement now. So Lambda corresponds to an interface, specifically abstract method present in an interface. Now, so Lambda corresponds to an interface. That means what is the interface that I have in my class now? Test interface. Now for this test interface, can I write a Lambda? Yes, we can write. How to write? We are going to see that now. So before going that, now here, if I want to create a string variable, can I say I will create like this? String s equal to Karthik. Okay. If I want to create an integer variable, how can I do? Int I equal to 10. So can I say what is the meaning of this one? S is a variable and Karthik is a value and string is a data type. Am I right? So S is a variable, Karthik is the value of that variable and string is a data type. So this line is denoting that S is a string type of data. That means the S variable will hold string type of data. Here, whenever I'm declaring line number 13, int I equal to 10, what is meant by that? I is a variable or I is a placeholder to store the value. But what kind of value it will store? It will store the integer value. So that means the first thing in this line number 12 and 13, what it is telling? It is telling what type of data you are storing, right? So this is how we can declare a variable. Now, similarly, what is the example I told? Here, Lambda corresponds to an interface. That means I can write a Lambda. So now, if I want to write a Lambda, can I write a Lambda for class? Can I write a Lambda for enum? Can I write a Lambda for interface? These are the three questions comes. Now, as per the statement here, you can see Lambda corresponds to an interface. That means you can write a Lambda for an interface. Now, see here, whenever I say that S, if I remove this one, I will get a compilation error. Can someone tell me why am I getting a compilation error? You can unmute yourself and speak. Why am I getting a compilation error?
Because the value we have to store in a data type.
Yeah.
Yes,
Any other answer?
Because of undefined data type.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Thanks.
S is not defined.
Yes. So here you're telling that S equal to Karthik, but what is an S? How much memory should be allocated, right? So the computer does not know Karthik, ABCD and all. The computer internally stores the data in terms of bytes or bits, zeros and ones. Now you need to tell computer that how much memory should be allocated for this Karthik. Is it 2 bytes, 3 bytes, 4 bytes, 5 bytes, right? So in order to tell that and what type of data it can accept. Does it accept character? Does it accept numeric? Does it accept alphabets? So in order to tell that in Java, the first thing that they have created, not only in Java, even C language also, data types has come into picture, string. So that means by using the data type, you're telling what type of data that S will store. Similarly, whenever I'm writing the Lambda corresponds to an interface. Now I need to tell for which interface I'm writing a Lambda. So in this one, can I say I have an interface called test? Now, for this test interface, I want to write a Lambda. Now, what I will do? Test T. So this T is a Lambda expression. And this T corresponds to which interface? Test interface. Now, Now, whenever you are implementing an interface, what are you doing? You are overriding this method. By overriding the method, what are you doing? Can I say you are providing the implementation? What does the display has to do? For example, inside this method, I want to do the addition of two numbers. Int a equal to 10 plus 25. This is the addition I want to perform. And I want to print the output here. Now, can I say I'm performing the addition inside the display method? So whenever I'm implementing this interface, I'm providing the implementation for the abstract method. So similarly, whenever we are writing the Lambda expression corresponds to an interface, right? So here you are written T. What is a T? T is a Lambda expression. And what is the test? So this Lambda expression of a test interface. Now, what is the thing you need to write here? You need to override the method. So if it is a normal class, you are implementing and then overriding. If it is a Lambda expression, then what you need to do? Whatever you are writing separate class, that thing, same thing you need to override. See, I'm overriding. So here that means whatever the, or else let me go back. So using the Lambda expression, I can provide the implementation for this method. Now, in order to provide an implementation, I'm copying this method. I'll paste it here. Since I need to provide implementation, I need to use the open bracket, close bracket. Done. Let me, and every statement in Java should end with a semicolon. Done. Now let us simplify this one. Now, since you here, Lambda corresponds to an interface. This is the statement. Now that means what is this T? T is a Lambda expression. But this Lambda expression you are writing for which interface? Test interface. That means compiler already know for which interface you are writing a Lambda expression, correct? So then, do I need to mention the method name, return type, and the access modifier? Not required. So here I repeat my statement. So here, when the statement that I asked you to remember is Lambda corresponds to an interface. So here T is a Lambda expression. So Lambda expression you're writing for what interface? Test interface. So that means you're telling already the compiler that, hey compiler, I want to write a Lambda expression for this interface, specifically abstract method present in this interface. So in this interface, how many abstract methods are present? One. We will come to the two abstract method scenario later, but for time being, consider that in this interface, we have only one abstract method. Now, whenever we have abstract method, for this interface, for this abstract method, I'm writing a Lambda. So you need to override it. Whenever you are overriding, already you are telling the compiler that go and look at the abstract method present in the test interface. So that means it knows what is the method name, what is the access modifier, what is the return type. So you don't need to mention these three things. Remove this. Done. Now, what is this one? This one is nothing but an arguments. Currently, the display method does not take any arguments. The display method does not take any arguments. So you are not writing any arguments. Now, why are you using this curly bracket, open curly bracket and closed curly bracket here also? Why are you using? To mention the body of the method. That means what the method is doing. To mention the body of the method, you are using the open curly and closed curly. So in order to make this as a Lambda expression, see, this denotes the argument. This denotes the implementation. Between the arguments and implementation, you need to write one arrow mark, hyphen, and then greater than symbol. So you need to write this. Look at here, the compilation error is gone. And what you need to perform inside this Lambda, I want to perform this addition and then display. Copy this and paste it here. Copy this and paste it here. Okay. Now, whoever is not speaking, please go on mute. Okay, thanks. Now, so here this is a Lambda. Now that means I have written a Lambda. Now, if you go back to the example, you're in the example class, you are implementing a test interface. Okay, done. And then you are overriding the method. After overriding the method, in order to use this method, what did you do? Can I say that you are creating an object and calling the method? Yes. Similarly, same thing we need to do here. Now I have created a Lambda. Here, what is a Lambda? T is a Lambda. That corresponds to test interface. Done. Now I want to call the method, right? T.display. Whenever I say T.display, immediately the compiler will go here. Now let me remove this. Since you already know what I'm doing, I'm commenting this code. I don't want to implement it. That means I will comment this code. Done. So I have not implemented. I will comment this code as well. Now let us debug this and see what will happen. Whenever I say t.display, where it will go. Let us see. Now, if it is a normal Java scenario, we will implement the interface and then create an object and then call the method. But using the Lambda, you don't need to do all of this. It is so simple. Now let me debug this code and see what happens. Right click, debug as Java application. So look at here, guys. It looks at the Lambda expression, but it will not go inside. Look at here. See, it did not go. Just it looks at the definition. Now, whenever I say t.display, what is it? What is a t? T is a Lambda expression. Lambda expression corresponds to what interface? Test interface. In test interface, what is the abstract method present? Display. That means whenever you are writing a Lambda expression here, can I say you are writing an indirectly? Can I say that you are writing an implementation of display method? Yes. Now, why you did not mention a display method name here? Because you're directly telling the compiler that, hey, compiler, I have written a Lambda expression called t, and it is for an interface called test. So you don't need to mention the method name. So whenever I say t.display, immediately the control will go to the line number 19. Let us see. See, and it is performing the calculation, addition of two numbers, and then it will print. See, it is printing, right? Now, let us take some more interfaces and then try. Now, let me write one more interface called test1. Test1. I'm writing one more interface called test1. In this test1, let me take one show method, one method, and this method takes one argument, integer, and I want to return Boolean from this method. Can I say this is also another interface? Yes.
Yes.
Yogesh, can you please go on mute? I request everyone to please go on mute. Okay. Now, I just have created one more interface. That is called interface name is test1, and it has an abstract method called show, and it has a name it is taking one argument and it is returning Boolean. Now, whenever you are writing a Lambda expression, do you care about the method name? No, the method name can be anything, right? Now, I want to write a Lambda expression for test1. Now, first of all, can I write a Lambda expression for test1? Yes, we can write, because Lambda corresponds to an interface. Now, what is the way to write? First, interface name. What is the interface name? Test1. Now, after that, you need to write a Lambda expression name. Lambda expression, whenever you're creating a variable, can I say variable name can be anything? Can I say that variable name, can I keep the variable name as ABC? Yes. So variable name can be anything. Similarly, Lambda expression name also can be anything. So now for time being, I'm putting T1. Now done. Now, how can I do? So I'm telling that, hey, compiler, I am writing a Lambda expression for test1 interface. Indirectly, what does it mean? You're writing a Lambda expression, or you're overriding the implementation of this method. Copy this method and go here and then put it here. And when I say you are writing a Lambda expression, that means you are providing the implementation for abstract method present in an interface. In order to provide an implementation, I need to use an open curly bracket, closed curly bracket. And every statement in Java ends with a semicolon. Now, since I am writing an implementation, and I have already mentioned that test1 interface, I am writing an implementation. So do we need to worry about this method name and return type? Not required. Remove this. Now, what it is taking one int argument. By looking at the method signature, it can easily identify that the argument is an int type. So you don't even need this data type. Now, what is the extra thing that you need to do? These are the arguments. This is the implementation. Between the arguments and implementation, you need to write one arrow mark. Done. Okay. Now it's already I variable is here. So I'm getting a compilation error. Let me use I1, anything. Now, what is the meaning of I1? I1 is a variable. Now, why it is throwing the error? Because if you look at here, I'm able to see the compilation error. Look at here. This method must return a result of type Boolean. What it is telling, this method must return a result of type Boolean. Why the compiler is throwing this message? Because what is the Lambda expression in here? T1. And Lambda expression corresponds to an interface. So the compiler went and looked at the method present in the test1 interface. Go here. In the test1 interface, what is abstract method? Show method. What does the show method doing? It is having a return type as a Boolean. That means it is expecting some return type. So whenever you are providing implementation, it is expecting some return type. Now let me write return false, something. So can I say the compilation error is gone? Yes. Now can I say this is one other Lambda I have written? Now I want to call this. See, once you are providing an implementation, how are you calling this one? Object name followed by display. Now here, since you have written Lambda expression, I will say what is the Lambda expression? T1. T1 dot what is abstract method name? Show. And then pass 10. And then run. So whenever you run it from this line, it will go to this line. Okay. Now let us try. Guys, please go on mute. If you are not interested, you can leave the session. But if you are interested, please be on mute. Because everyone, there are a lot of 120 people. So in the interest of everyone, I request all you guys to please go on mute. Okay. Now let me ask you one more question. If I have one statement, I'm just writing a code. Okay. Now guys, so can someone tell me, unmute yourself and tell me the difference between the statements? What is the difference between line number 30 here and here?
Means if there is only one statement, no need to curly braces.
Yeah, right. So whenever I'm writing any block of code, if it is a if statement and all, if there is only one statement I need to perform, I don't need to use a curly bracket. Correct? If it is a more number of statements, I can use it. Now, similarly, apply the same logic here. Now, in this Lambda expression, what are you writing logic? Only one line of statement. So then do I need the curly bracket? I can remove, correct? If you want, you can keep it. If you want, you can keep it. But if it is a only one line statement, is the curly bracket is mandatory? Not required. You remove the curly bracket. Here. Now, what is my Lambda expression? Can I say this itself is my Lambda expression? Yes or no? Yeah. So you don't even need a bracket. That's it. Let's save it. See here, why am I getting a compilation error? Because see, whenever you have multiple statements, then you need to write a return. But here, only one statement. Do I need the return statement also? Not required. That's it. So this itself is a Lambda expression. So whatever I have written earlier with a curly bracket is same as writing like this, right?
Very, very short code.
Yes. So now let us take one more example, write in Lambda another.
If I use return, it's not a problem, right?
If you are using a curly bracket, then only you can use a return. If it is a single line statement, you cannot use a return because single line statement means that itself you are trying to return, right?
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So guys, let's wait for the questions some more time. Let me write some more lambdas. Now let us take, sorry. Let me take test 3. Okay, now here I am writing I'm writing one method called validate. It is taking int I comma string j, and it is returning double. So this is a abstract method. Now, can I write a Lambda expression for a test3 interface? Yes, because it's an interface, we can write a Lambda expression. Now let us see how we can write. Okay. First, I need to write an interface name test3 and then t3 equal to. Now, what is so whenever I'm writing a Lambda expression for test3 interface, what does it mean? Specifically, I am trying to override the implementation, or I am trying to override the method, abstract method, or I am trying to write the implementation for this validate method. Let's write here. Now, since I am providing implementation, open curly, close curly, done. And every statement in Java should end with a semicolon, right? So by mentioning the Lambda expression or interface name, you are already telling that, hey, compiler, I am writing a Lambda expression for this validate method. So I don't need to mention this. Okay. Now, do I need to mention these things? Not required. Because by looking at the compiler, it will understand. Now, here between the arguments and the implementation, I need to add the arrow mark. Done. Now here I need to, since I is already there, let me take I2. Now why it is showing the compilation error? Because my return type of this method is double. So it is expecting return. Let me write more than one line of statement. Lambda of validate method. Okay. Now let me write return 10.0 something. So I want to return the double value. So I'm just writing some double value. That's it. Now can I say I have written a Lambda expression? Done. Now let me call the Lambda expression. See, whenever you are writing a method, whenever I'm writing a display method, so will it be executed? No, someone should call this display method. Then only this logic will be executed, right? Similarly here, I have written a Lambda. Whenever I say that I have written a Lambda means I have provided the implementation for one of the abstract method. So now I need to call that abstract method. Then only this logic should execute, correct? Now T3 dot, what is abstract method? Validate. And what you are passing 10. And what you are passing here? Karthik. So what does it mean? See, whenever you're calling this method, whenever you're debugging, so what is the I2 variable will hold? 10. What is the J variable will hold? Karthik. Did you, see, I did not mention the data type here. Even if you mention the data type also, not a problem. Okay, now let us debug here. Debug as Java application. So this is earlier Lambda, this is a Lambda. So see, whenever I say T3 dot validate, see it will go. See, what is the value of I2? 10. What is the value of J? Karthik. And what is the logic I'm performing? I'm just writing some system dot out dot statement. I'm returning the value 10. So this is about how to write a Lambda. So does anyone has any questions so far?
Sir, always we need the method, class name test3.
It is not a class, it's an interface.
Yeah, sorry, interface.
Yes, because if you don't mention, if I remove this or else, don't go for a Lambda. If I see, what is the meaning of string s equal to Karthik? It's a string variable.
It's a string variable.
If you remove s, does the compiler know what is s?
No, it doesn't know.
That means you need to tell compiler what type of data you are storing in a s variable, correct?
Correct.
In order to tell that, you are using a data type, correct? Now, similarly, what is the statement I have provided? Lambda corresponds to an interface. Now, that means can you write any number of interfaces in Java?
Yes, we can.
Then how does the compiler will know that you are writing a Lambda expression for a specific interface, right? By mentioning the interface name, see, T3 is a Lambda expression. It's a T3 is a name. You can write
Reference.
instead of T3, you can write Karthik also. You can write any name. Variable name can be anything in Java, right? Similarly, Lambda expression name can be anything. But we need to tell the compiler that for which interface I'm writing a Lambda. In my project, I have three interfaces. Now, how does the compiler will know that for which interface you are writing a Lambda expression? So you need to mention the interface name.
So for an example, okay, I got it. So instead of interface, I don't know. Please excuse me. So if can we use classes?
That is what you can write a Lambda expression for an interface only.
Oh,
You cannot write Lambda expression for a class.
okay.
If an interface have more than one method, then
I'll
how
come
we
to
will
that.
implement it?
I'll come to that. That is what I told,
Here
right? For time being, you consider only one abstract method. I'm just asking the questions that do you guys are aware, like now, if I give you the interface with one abstract method, will you be able to write a Lambda expression and then call the method? Did you understand till that part?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Sir, I have one doubt.
I have question.
yes,
Hello.
one by one. Yeah, one by one.
Go on, go.
Yeah. So without calling validate method, like if you have only one interface and without calling that method, corresponding method, we can't get output, right?
Yes, see here, it's okay. Let's take the example here. Example implements test and you have overridden the display method, done. When did you get this
Yes.
output? When
Only
did
after
they,
calling that method.
yeah, so that means whenever you call this, see, whenever you are overriding or implementing, it does not mean that it gets executed. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah.
You have to call, then only the method performs the action written inside it. Similarly,
Mhm.
using the Lambda expression, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? I'm providing the implementation or what is the logic of a Lambda expression. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, how can this be triggered? Unless you get call this method, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that is the reason you need to call the, see, now, what is this implementation? This is the implementation of an abstract method present in the
Abstract
test3
method.
interface. What is the method
Yes.
name? Validate. So
Validate.
whenever you call the validate method and give the argument, then this Lambda expression will be triggered. So calling this method as same as whatever you're doing in implementation.
Yeah. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Hi,
my
Karthik.
question is, hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Here is returning the double. Okay. Where it will be stored, because why it's not coming the class cast exception.
So I have not,
and,
I have returned, but I see here it will be stored here. Double D equal to. See here, what is the, see from whenever I say k dot validate, it will trigger the Lambda expression, right? And then this Lambda expression is returning 10 and that 10 will be stored here. I did not write double.
Yeah, but from method, from Lambda expression, it will return the doubles and we are catching in the test3 interface.
No, test3
So
interface, we are not catching. Let me keep it clear.
in the
Test3
line number
interface is a
31.
interface. Test3 is a interface. It's not a data type. Okay. So you are telling the compiler that K is a Lambda expression and it corresponds to an interface called test3. And for the test3, you are writing a method behavior. And whatever it is returning, if I write a display method, just write a display method and display method is returning int. If you are calling this method, how do you call? Int C equal to display, correct? Whatever the response of the display method, same you are storing in a variable. Similarly, whenever I say k dot validate, can I say I'm calling the method? Yes. What this method is returning? 10. Where do you store? Here. It is same as normal Java.
But in the display method, we are using the data type int. So
Yes.
you mean when we are using the Lambda expression, that time we have to use only the interface type.
Yes.
In normal
Because
method,
you
we
can
are
write a
using the
Lambda
data type.
expression only for an interface. And what this is returning is depends on the abstract method signature present in the interface.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because in normal method, we are going to return.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. So if you understand, let's go for another question quickly because we need to cover more. Yeah. One question.
Karthik, basically, Karthik. So actually, Lambda expressions are actually meant for functional interface. Okay.
Yes.
So what is meant for functional interface here?
I have not explained. I will explain. I'm just asking the question on this, whether you are able to write a Lambda.
Yeah,
Okay,
hi,
let's go
Karthik,
for
I have one doubt. I means inside text3 interface, you have to define one method by validate. Like inside validate, you have two parameters, I and the j. But in line number 31, you have mentioned I2. What is meaning
it's
of
a
this?
variable name. Variable name
Yeah.
can be anything in Java.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is not a problem, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
You can
okay.
write, what is your name?
Yeah, Rohit.
What?
Rohit.
Rohit. I can write Rohit also, not a problem. Okay.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
variable name. Okay. Now,
Okay.
guys,
Yeah. Thank you, Karthik.
I'll catch up with you guys again after explanation of something. Then let's go for something else. Now, whenever I have one abstract method, I request everyone to please go on mute.
Karthik, one last doubt. Sorry for interrupting.
Can I take it? Can I take it later?
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Please go on mute, guys. Yeah, thanks. So whenever, till now we have seen, whenever the interface is having one abstract method, we are able to write a Lambda expression. Now, in the same test3 interface, let me write one more abstract method. Let me write check. Some abstract method I'm writing. Okay. Now, the first question I wanted to ask is, in an interface, can I write more than one abstract method?
Yes.
Yeah, it's possible.
We can write any number of abstract methods in an interface. So that's the reason we are not getting any compilation error in the interface. Now, let's go back to the example class. Immediately in line number 31, wherever I have written the Lambda expression, I repeat my statement. In the line number 31, wherever I have written the Lambda expression for the test3, I'm getting a compilation error. The reason for that is, look at the statement I have provided. Lambda corresponds to an interface, which is good. Specifically, abstract method present in an interface. In the earlier scenario, we have only one abstract method. So it is looking at that. But now, in the test3 interface, there are two abstract methods. Now, the compiler is not able to identify you are writing a Lambda expression for this method or this method, because whenever you are writing a Lambda expression, are you writing any method? No, because method name is not needed. So here, whenever you are having more than one abstract methods in an interface, can you write a Lambda expression? No, we cannot write a Lambda expression for an interface which has more than one abstract method. Now the thing is, you see, for example, let us take some person, Abhilash, and then let me take some Sairaj. Those myself, Karthik, Abhilash, Sairaj are in the same project. And I'm writing a Lambda expression. Okay, I have written like this, a test3. I have written only one abstract method and I have written a Lambda. Correct, done. Now, Sairaj does not know that I'm using this test3 interface for a Lambda expression. Now he comes and write another abstract method called like this. He comes and write another abstract method. Then he don't see any compilation error here. But can I say here in the example, wherever I'm writing Karthik has written a Lambda expression, it is giving the compilation error. The reason for that is, whenever you're writing a Lambda expression, it has to correspond to a abstract method present in an interface. But Sairaj has introduced one more abstract method. So now, with the introduction of second abstract method, the Lambda, the compiler is not able to distinguish whether Karthik has written a Lambda expression for this validate method, Karthik has written a Lambda expression for this check method. Correct? That is a problem. Now, what Karthik should do? If Karthik wants to write a Lambda expression, can I say Karthik should not allow anyone to write more than one abstract method, right? The problem here, I'm getting a compilation error here is Sairaj has written one more abstract method, because in interface, you can write any number of abstract methods. Now, that means I need to limit Sairaj not to write or not to allow Sairaj to write more than one abstract methods in the interface. Now, how can I do that? In Java 8, one annotation has been introduced called @functional interface. @functional interface. In Java 8, one in annotation has been introduced called @functional interface. Now, what Karthik will do? Karthik wants to write the Lambda expression for test3. Then he has written And then on top of the test3, he is using @functional interface annotation. Now let us see whether Sairaj can write one more abstract method. See, earlier I did not get any compilation error in the interface, correct? But now, whenever the Sairaj is writing the another abstract method in the test3 interface, is it allowing? No, I can see the compilation error. The reason for that is, so a functional interface is something which can allow only one abstract method. A functional interface is something which can allow only one abstract method. That means out of my, so I just told an example of Abhilash, Sairaj, and myself are in the same project. Now I am writing a Lambda expression. Now, whichever the Lambda expression I am writing, in that interface, I don't want anyone to write more than one abstract method. Then what I will do, I will make that annotation, I will make that interface as a @functional interface annotation, so that Sairaj and Abhilash, any other person in my project, they cannot write, they cannot change, or they cannot introduce one more abstract method. If they are trying to do, they will get a compilation error here itself, and then they will roll back the method. So what is a functional interface? A functional interface is something. Why the functional interface is introduced? Whenever you are writing a Lambda expression corresponds to an interface, specifically abstract method present in an interface. That means in that interface for which you are writing a Lambda, it should have only one abstract method. But generally in interface, you can write any number of abstract methods. Now, as a developer, you should not allow anyone to write more than one abstract method in the interface. What do? I will annotate that interface with the @functional interface annotation. By putting this annotation, what is happening? We are not allowing anyone to write more than one abstract method. You can write any number of default and static method. That's another feature of Java 8, which comes later. But by annotating the @functional interface, the interface can allow only one abstract method, and no one can write more than one abstract method. In this way, my Lambda, no one can touch my Lambda. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
The one who asked a question of writing more than one abstract method and the functional interface. I hope you understand, guys.
Yeah, got
Yes,
it, got
yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the functional interface is something. A functional interface is one which does have only one abstract interface. This is also, some people will call it as a SAM interface. SAM, don't think that it's a Samantha or something. It's just a SAM interface. As the name itself tells, single abstract method. S for single, A for abstract, and M for method. It is just an abbreviation some people will call. So SAM interface is nothing but a functional interface, which is nothing but it should have only one abstract method. And in the functional interface, you can have any number of abstract methods. Okay. Now the question comes. I hope everyone is clear till now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, what are the advantages of this Lambda expression? What are the advantages of this Lambda expression? Now, anonymous in a class you can replace with the Lambda expression. Okay. Now let us try it. You guys, everyone know that how to create a thread object. Can someone tell me? Unmute yourself. Only one person. Unmute yourself and tell me how to create a thread object in Java.
Using the yeah.
Okay. Any other person?
By implementing runnable interface.
By implementing a runner.
Okay. Now, so whenever I am implementing runnable interface, can I say, so what is a runnable?
Interface.
Interface.
Contain only one method.
Runnable interface and callable.
It is a predefined interface.
Okay.
It's contain only one method.
So runnable interface is the one which has only one abstract method called run method, right? So now, for this interface, can I write a Lambda expression? Yes. Now, so you have to override the run method and then do it. Okay. Now, if not, how can I create an object?
Runnable.
Okay. So one way is override the run method, okay, and then create a main method, and then what I will have to do, thread t equal to new thread followed by new thread example, correct? This is how I can create a thread object using a runnable by implementing a runnable interface. This is a standard way that we can do. Does everyone agree with this?
Yes.
Yeah. Now let us modify this one. Now I don't want to implement. I don't want to do this. Okay. Now I want to create a thread object. Now here, can I directly write new runnable anonymous inner class? Like this, new runnable. That means the runnable is an interface. So here, in order to create a thread object, I need to call the thread class constructor. How can you call a constructor? By creating an object. So thread class object means thread class I need to create. Thread to t equal to new thread. And what I need to pass, runnable object. Runnable is an interface in Java. Now, how can you create for an interface? You cannot create an object. So when I say new, that means I am creating an anonymous object. And then I have to override the run method. So here I am overriding the run method, correct? Now I am writing sysout. Run method. Okay, done. Now, can I simplify this? Let us see how can we simplify. Now, what is an runnable, guys?
Interface.
How many abstract methods are present?
Functional interface.
One function interface. Yeah.
That means they have annotated, see, the predefined Java developers. That means the Oracle who has developed this functional and runnable interface, can I say they have annotated with the @. Functional interface? What does it mean? Can someone write more than one abstract method?
No, we cannot
No.
write.
No. Now, can I write an abstract Lambda expression for this runnable interface?
Yes.
Sure,
Yeah.
yes,
Now
sir.
let us see. So how to write interface name,
Interface name.
reference Lambda expression name, and then copy this method, keep it here, open bracket, close curly bracket, and then semicolon, right? Now, since I am writing a Lambda expression, do I need to worry about access modifier return type method name? Not required. No. Does the run method takes any argument? No. That means empty bracket. Now, between the bracket and implementation, I need to write arrow mark. Okay. Now I will write implementation. What is the implementation I am writing? Sysout run method. Now, can I say, if I want to see, can I say whatever you are implementing this one, can I say I have written Lambda expression?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Now, how can I create an object instead of like this? I don't want to do like this.
Thread space T.
Thread T equal.
Thread T equal to new thread.
New thread of R.
Can I pass R? Yes. Yeah. Whoever is not speaking, please go on mute. Yeah. So this is how I can do. Now, if it is a multiple times you want to use, then you will create a constant like this. Now, instead that, can I pass directly this one here?
Yes.
I don't even know do this, correct? Now, what does it mean? Can I say what is this? It's a Lambda expression for a run method. Now, since I have only one line, see how many lines this implementation, only one line. So do we need the curly bracket? Not needed. Do I need the curly bracket here? Not needed.
Not required.
Yeah, this itself is a thread object creation, correct? Now, what is the advantage of Lambda? Using the Lambda, anonymous inner class can be represented with a Lambda expression. Anonymous inner class can be represented with a Lambda expression. And Lambda expression allows functional programming. Now, let me talk to the functional programming now. I request everyone to please go on mute. Now, let me tell you. Now, let us take, so in this example, let me take one method called add. Int add, int I, comma, int j. I am performing return I plus j. Now, if I want to call this method, what should I do? I need to create an object. Yes, I have an object. Now, how can I call this add method? Can I say like this? E dot add 10 comma 20. This is how I can call the method. Do you guys agree with me? This is how you will call the method in Java.
Yes.
Yeah. Here, whenever you're calling the add method, what are you passing? Can I say you are passing the data? What are you
Yeah,
passing? You
we
are
are.
passing the data,
Yes.
right? The values
one
for
more.
I and j. You are passing that I value is 10, j value is 20. That means you are passing the data as method argument. Correct? Now, instead that you might say that I want to pass the employee object. Even if I say employee object E, here you will create an employee object and you pass. Inside the employee, what it will be there? Data only. Correct? So in Java, whatever you are doing so far, whatever the method argument that you are passing the data as a method argument. Whenever I say data means what is the value here? It's a value. I will be storing 10, J will be storing 20. Now you are passing the data as a method argument. But using the Lambda expression, you can pass the functionality as a method argument. Functionality as method argument. Now let me okay. Instead, okay, let me create one more interface. Lambda allows functional programming. That is nothing but what is the functional programming? Passing the functionality as a method argument. Now in this one, let me add int I comma j. Now this is one interface. I want to use this. Now in the example, I am writing some check method, something. Now this check method is taking interface reference. What is that interface? Test 4, T4. Okay. Now T4 dot add 10 comma 20. Now, yeah. Now if I want to call this method in regular Java, what should I do, guys? This check method is accepting what it is accepting? Interface reference. Interface object, right? Interface reference. How can you pass the interface reference? Can I say first you need to create a class, correct? Let me create a class, example 1, and then implement the interface, correct? Implements test 4, and then override the abstract method and return I plus j. So this is what I am overriding. Now can I say I want in order to call this method, what should I pass? Can I say I need to create an object of example1 class and then pass it here? Am I right, guys? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now here let us see. E dot add. What I need to do? Can I say new example1? Correct. Now whenever I say new example1, sorry. Yeah, let me take test 4 E3 equal to new example1. Correct. So this is how I created an object. Can I pass E3 now here? By passing the E3, what does it mean? I am calling this method only, correct? I am passing the reference. Don't worry about this one. I have to change the method name to check. Done. Now look at here. So whenever I am calling this one, what I am passing? E3. E3 is nothing but object. That means object also contains the data. So here, what are you passing? Here we are passing the data as a method argument. Now let us change this. Now, can I write? So now let us use this Lambda expression. Now, what is a test for? So in order to pass the test for reference here, what you have done before Java 8, you have created a class and implemented an interface and overridden the abstract method and then written. Now my test 4 is a functional interface. right? If it is a functional interface, what should I do? Can I write a Lambda expression? Yes. Now let us write. Test for T5 equal to, what is the abstract method? This one. Copy this, write this, open curly, close curly, remove this. Now can I say integers also? Can I say x comma y? Any name. Now then I need to write an arrow mark. Now return x plus y. Okay, done. Can I say this is my Lambda expression? Yes. Now what you are doing without Java 8, you are passing, you are creating a class, implementing an interface, and then object you are passing here. Now if I want to call this check method, can I pass this Lambda expression? Yes. Now let us see. E.check. Done. So what does the check method is taking? Test for reference. Test for is what? Functional interface. I have written a Lambda expression. That is T5. Now can I pass like this? Yes. Correct. Now more than, now here I don't want to see, only one time I want to, for example, what is the meaning of like this? String x equal to 10. If I am using again x, if I am using again 10 another multiple times, then I will declare the constant value and I will use it, right? Similarly, here I want to use only once. So now can I also get rid of this one? Directly copy this Lambda expression and then put it here, right? Now here, if you look at here in the check method, what did I pass? E3 without Java 8. Now with the Java 8 and with the Lambda expression, to this check method, what are you doing? Check method accepts the interface reference. And what is that interface? Functional interface. Now here, can I say this is my implementation of the functional interface? Yes. Now, if you look at here, this, if you are looking at this one, am I passing the data here? To this check method, did I pass the data? No. Can I say what I'm doing? Can I say I'm passing the functionality? What is that functionality? X plus y. That means addition of two numbers is a data or functionality? Can I say addition of two numbers is a functionality, right? Now, so that means with the Lambda expression, can I say earlier you can pass the only data as a functional argument, method argument, correct? But with a Lambda expression, am I able to pass? See, I want to perform x multiplied by y. Can I do? Yes. If I want to x divided by y, can I do? Yes. That means what am I doing here? Using the Lambda expression, I am passing the functionality as a method argument. So that is what the basic or most interested advantage of Lambda expression is. Lambda allows functional programming. Lambda allows functional programming. What is meant by functional programming? Passing the method, passing the functionality as a method argument is called as a functional programming. Functional programming. Passing the functionality as method argument is called as functional programming. I hope you guys understand this one. What is the difference between a data, passing the data as a method argument and passing the functionality as a method argument? Yes, guys, I hope you understand everyone. Yes, sir. Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Yes, Sairaj, you had a question, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. So for an example, if we are having a 4 interface, test 1, test 2, test 3, consider there is only one method, I mean, one abstract method, one common name, like validate.
In the test method, the method name is validate. Okay. And in the test one, method name is validate.
Validate, yeah.
So you're saying that all are having same method. Now,
yes,
correct. But whenever you're writing a Lambda expression, do you worry about the method name? No, right?
No,
Yes.
I mean, if it is the same argument also.
Same thing, but you are writing a interface name is different, right? Hope you understand, right?
Okay.
First of all, if all are same, why do you write multiple? Okay, even if you write it, So whenever you're writing a Lambda expression, you don't worry about the method name, correct? You're telling the interface, you're telling the compiler to look at the interface. You're writing the interface name. As yourself, can you create an interface with say, two interfaces with the same name?
No, that's not possible.
Correct? Hope you understand now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Was there any other question, guys?
Yes, sir. In this class, okay, end of the class, you have written check method, right? And you are
Yeah.
doing the functional interface.
Yes.
So if you remove that one, whether it will work? I mean, here you are adding, okay, line number 51 to 54, you are adding that one.
No, here I'm not adding. I'm just calling the add method present in this test4 interface, correct?
Yes.
So now in order to, so that means test4 interface is what? It's an interface, correct?
Yes, interface.
Now,
yes.
So if it is a normal plain Java way, what do you do? Can I say first you will implement this class, correct?
Yes.
You will implement the class and it will, whenever I call this method, can I say it will come here instead of going to this one? Correct.
Yes.
Now, in this one, what in the functional programming, what am I doing? I'm writing a Lambda expression. That means, can I say I'm writing the implementation for the method that is present in the test4 interface?
Yes.
And okay, that means I'm passing the functionality. Done. Whenever I say add, where it will come? It will come here only, right?
That is what I have a doubt, sir. Debugging.
Yeah, it will come here.
Whether it will go to
Yes,
add method.
Let's look at here. It will not go to the interface because you have overridden here itself. Whenever you are writing a Lambda, what is the meaning of Lambda? You are overriding it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me comment this. There are some compilation error. Just give me a minute. Let me stop it. Restart. Debug Java. See, I have called, okay, now, if I say this is from this line, it has come. Okay, this is a normal Java way. It will go to the here, if it's normal Java way. Look at here, correct? Done. Now let's see from Lambda expression, it is calling. Let us see. Okay, now done. See, I'm calling the e.check from Lambda expression. Immediately where it will go? Here. Correct? T4.add means again, I'm keeping a debugger point inside this. What is the value of x comma y? 10 comma 20. Let's see. See, is it coming here? Hope you understand. The one who asked a question.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And another question I have. Okay.
Yeah.
In functional interface, we might have static methods or default methods. If I want to call that one.
Yeah, that is a different. If you want to call a static method, you can use a interface name followed by the static method name. If you want to call the default method present in interface, you have to use interface name dot super dot method name.
But here we are not implementing it, right?
No, you don't need to implement the static and default methods, right? Automatically they have the implementation, right?
No, implementation it has, but we need to implement in this particular example class, right? Then only it knows. Okay.
No need.
No need. Okay.
That's a different topic. I will explain. Like I'll come to that later.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
So, guys, I'm going to start Java 8, 9, 11. Let me show you guys. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to start Java 8, 9, 11 batch on 19th of April, which is on coming Wednesday. So that course will contain, we are going to discuss about complete Java 8 features, 9 features and 11 features. Now, what are going to be discussed in the Java 8? These are the things. Interface changes in Java 8, like in the interface Java 8, we can write default methods, static methods. What is the advantage? Why should I write? Everything we are going to discuss. Lambda expression. What is a functional interface? So we have discussed about functional interface. There are some other functional interface created in Java like predicate, supplier, consumer, function. We are going to discuss those. What is a method reference? And we have the stream API. In the stream API, there are a lot of methods. For each and every method, we are going to look at the example program. Like I will be telling in the practical way. So in the class, whatever I have started, right, I've written a program and I have explained the concept, right? Throughout the course, I do the same thing. So we are going to look at the intermediate operation, terminal operation, short circuit operation. And for each and everything, we are going to write a program. And most probably, we are looking at the interview questions. So in the interview, they might be asking, write a Lambda expression to find out the second highest salary or third least salary. Like that questions, I'll be explaining you guys. It is not just with a wrapper classes, it's with a customized object like employee object, department objects, etc. And we are also going to look at optional class. What is an optional class? That is a new thing introduced. And there is some class called local date, local time, in order to work with a date API and collection API improvements. And then concurrency API, in the executive framework, there are some changes happened done. So we are going to see that. So those are part of Java 8. And in Java 9, the entire programming has been changed into a modular approach. So what is there is something called JShell, try with resource, factory methods, interface changes. Like in interface of Java 9, you can even write a private method. What is the advantage of that? So in the stream, take while, drop while, process API improvements means currently so many times you have seen whenever you're working in your project, your Eclipse will stuck. Immediately, what do? You go to the task manager and then kill the Eclipse process. But you can do that with a normal Java program also. That means you can closely work with the operating system. How to do? That can be done by the process API improvements. So we are going to look at that. And the most important thing in the Java 9 is what is a module? How can I create a module in Java? And then the diamond operator for anonymous in a class. So we are going to discuss these things in the Java 9. And coming to the Java 11, so Java 11 is a long-term support release. There are some enhancements happened in the Java 11 for the string class, collection class, file API, Lambda expressions, predicate, HTTP client, nested base access, everything. So we are going to see all of this. So this class is going to start on April 19th. And this is not the first batch. Just give me a minute. Let me complete it. Let me complete and then you can speak.
Okay.
So this is the fourth batch I'm teaching on the Java 8, 9, 11. So the timing for this course is morning, every day morning, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And the duration of this course is 35 days to 40 days. And the fee for this course is 4,000 rupees, which includes the recording. And without recording, why are we providing the recordings of free of cost is? So if you do not practice the Java 8 and 9, you don't understand. Whenever I explain, you feel that you understood it, but unless you practice, you don't get it. So this course will be completed maximum in 35 to 40 days. And beyond that, during that time, due to some office work or production issues, you might be busy. You understood it, but you did not get a time to practice. So later, even if you try to practice, if you don't have something to see, right? So that's the reason we are providing you the videos of 3 months. You have the 3 months video access free. So you don't need to pay anything extra. That is, since the complexity of the course, we are providing it for free. And apart from this, I'm going to provide you the notes, whatever the program that we are writing in the class. And at the end, we are going to look at the interview questions and then write the answers. That also will be shared with you all. So this course is going to start from 19th April. Let me write here. 19th April 2023. That means this is a coming Wednesday. Whatever the Wednesday that is coming now, that is a Wednesday every day morning, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. So the demo classes will be started on 19th April. If anybody is interested, you can join. And whoever is interested, I am putting one link in the group. In the chat, I am putting one Google form link. Can you guys please fill this Google form so that Ashok IT can reach out to you if you are interested for this course? I repeat my statement. Whoever is interested, I request you guys to please fill the Google form link. It just takes 2 minutes of your time. Now open for questions.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, what I'm saying, can you end up the class? Can you take one real-time scenario example where we can use a functional interface and Lambda?
This one itself,
Exactly.
you can use it. So what it is returning, like if I say x plus 5, so what it is doing? It is returning something, correct? Now it is returning
Yeah,
some.
right.
Now if you want to return, take this one, take int b equal to, and then you can print it. Sys out b. That's it. It will print the value. Now let me write here. B value is plus. Now let me run the program. See, B value is 30. What is the value of 10 plus 20? 30.
No, what I'm saying, in a real-time scenario, even if you
Sir, see, whatever it is, whether it's a real time or non-real time, it would be the same. Call the method, take the return type. That's it.
thank you.
Okay, it's just a method return type. However you do in a normal programming, call the method, and if the method is returning, you can take it. The same thing you can do. Guys, whoever is interested, can you please fill the Google form link? I am sharing it again.
Hello, sir. I have a small question.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Spring Boot framework, we have various components like controller, implementation. I think we can directly use this, or do we
No,
need
you
to change
cannot.
it?
Whether it's a component, controller and all, what are those? Controller is a class or interface.
Controller
In the
is a
Spring.
class.
Then can you write a Lambda expression for a class? No, right?
No,
We can
no.
write a Lambda expression for an interface only. It doesn't
Yes,
matter whether it's a Spring Boot, structs, or whatever it is. If you are using the Java 8, that means you need to have first of all, you need to download the Java 8 and then install it. And then whenever you have the Java 8, and see, whenever you are doing a project with a Spring Boot, you can do with a Spring, you can do with a structs, and you can do with a servlet also. But if your Java version is as long as 8 or beyond 8 or after 8, you can write a Lambda expression for an interface only. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir, I got it.
I think you have put the question in the chat also, right, on this?
Yes, it's me.
Tomorrow we have class?
No, there is only one day workshop.
1 day.
And the Java 8, 9, 11 demo classes will start on 19th April. I think the demo classes for 8, 9, 11 will be there for 4 to 5 days.
Okay. Hi, Karthik. Is it a offline classroom session
No,
or
it's
is
an
it online?
It's an online classroom session.
I have one question regarding this Lambda expression. So what is the main purpose? Is it like just to reduce the code or is there something else?
That is what I told, right? Functional programming. So here, what are you doing? You are passing the functionality, right? As a method argument. Can you do without Lambda 8?
No.
Without Lambdas, can you do? No. The basic functionality is functional programming. That means Lambda allows the functional programming. In Java, till now, you can do only, you can pass what you can pass. See, you, after this class, you go to your project and check wherever you're calling a method using an object. Always you will pass an object. Inside object, what it will be there, if you are passing an employee, inside that you have an employee ID, employee name, salary. What is it meant by that? Data only.
Data.
Correct? Always you are passing the data as a method argument. But using the Lambda, you can pass functionality. That means I want to do addition of 2 numbers, or you want to get the data from the database, or you want to do something X. That is a functionality. Here, do you know what is the data of X? What is the value of X and what is the value of Y? No. What you are doing here? Can I say you are doing addition of 2 numbers? That means what is this?
That is a functionality.
Yes. The functionality you are passing as a parameter. See, what is this check? Check is a method. You are passing this means, can I say this is a parameter?
Yeah.
So that means you are passing the functionality as a parameter. That is the biggest advantage of Lambda expression. And the another advantage is, I just told you, right, how to create a thread example object, right? Anonymous inner class. See, can I say this much of code you have reduced? What is this? It's an anonymous inner class. You can reduce it with a Lambda expression, correct?
Okay.
So this is another advantage. The first and foremost advantage is it facilitates the functional programming, without which you cannot do.
So
guys,
can we
I
say
request. Yeah, just a minute, please. So I request whoever is interested, please complete the Google form. It just takes 2 minutes of your time. I keep the Google form link again. Yeah, Himanshu, like at this point of time, I have not planned for the core Java batch. So it may take time. Okay. And do we have anyone who were part of my earlier classes or any batch? Do you have anyone who were part of my earlier batches? Or have looked at my earlier any of the demo sessions?
I am part of your pattern, design pattern.
Yes, Cyrus. Can you share your experience with them so that they can understand? Because they do not know me, right? So how the teaching would happen, etc.
So to be very precise, Karthik is a highly disciplined tutor. So he start the class on time, and his way of explanation start from the scratch, and at least at end of every classes you can feel that you learned something. So if you really observe and if you follow his instruction, that is good enough to become an expert. So Karthik is very nice in teaching. Examples, real-time examples, that's are all awesome. So whatever the doubt you ask, he will try his level best, and he clears all the students' doubts.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Does anyone wanted to share any feedback of my previous class students?
So Karthik, anyways, you are providing free videos for 3 months, right? Why can't you provide for the lifetime?
So it is a third party. See, whenever you're, were you part of any of the Ashok IT batch?
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah. So if you look at the video platform is not from Ashok IT, right? It's from Teachable. It's a third party tool. So we have to, as from whatever the pay, we are not taking any extra amount. From that itself, we are paying to the third party. So the third party provider will take the amount for hourly base and then the number of student base, right? So if I have to provide with a lifetime, then they should be, every video will be taking around 2 GB or 3 GB. So you cannot even think what they will be charging. So that's the reason.
Yeah, anyways, there are lots of third-party tools, right? Like a box, like
so that is what, like,
you can provide a lifetime access. So it's
yes, Sarath. So see, there are so many things, but security, every other things matters, right? So it's an organization decision, right? So that's the reason. Yeah. Anything else? Questions? Anyone?
Sir, is it possible to change the timing for the night?
Can you please be little loud, Pawan?
Sir, is it possible to change that batch timing? Like you have told me that 7:30 to 8:30.
No, it is not possible. Like I take 7:30 a.m. and then 9 a.m. in the morning. So 9 a.m. I am planning to have the collection session, which you are going to have soon. Once the enrollments are done for the what you call 8, 9, 11, I'm going to take one more session on the collections workshop. Earlier, I have taken a workshop on the threads, complete threads. So similarly, I'm going to take the workshop on the collections. So that will be at 9 a.m. So I do not have any other time apart from take 7:30.
So is the collection is from scratch?
Yeah. So when I say collection from scratch, were you part of my threads batch?
No, I'm not part of that.
Okay, fine. So in the collection, say generally whenever you say, whenever you learn core Java, during the core Java, the explanation of the collections is like just array list does not allow duplicates. It is an order, something like that, right? But in my class, we are going to discuss detailed explanation about what is an array list, how does the array list works internally, what is a hash map, how does work internally, what is a hash set, how does work internally, and then what is a stack, what is a queue. Till stack and queue will go, and then we'll discuss about the internal implementations, and then what is a concurrent modification exception, what is a weak hash map, what is a copy and write array list, what is a concurrency, what is a synchronization. So those things we are going to discuss in the collections.
So only on collections, right?
Yes, only on collections. It would be within 15 to 20 days.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'll get
like
to know.
join actually.
Yeah, you will get to know the course content whenever whenever the demo class starts of the collections. You will get to know the course content.
Yeah. Sir.
Can you shift
And
to the
also,
two
sir, like
batches?
how to get the videos of your previous tutorials? Like, do we need to attend again, or do we have videos?
Yeah, they're already. I mean, you're talking about the demo
Previous
classes.
sections.
Demo classes.
No, classes.
So which batch you wanted?
On like you said threads, right?
Yes. So that's the threads is already completed. If you want to enroll, you just call up the Ashok IT, and then you say that you wanted to enroll for Karthik threads batch, and they will make you enroll. You have to pay for the fee, and then they'll give you all the video access.
Only videos.
Yeah, because it's already completed. I'm going to plan for thread section again in the future, maybe in the mid of May or end of May.
Okay then. Yeah.
Currently, my live batches are like yesterday only I completed the day before yesterday I completed the design patterns, and before that I completed the data structures. Now my batches are like Java 8, 9, 11 first, which is on 19th April, and then once the enrollments are completed for 19th April Java 8, 9, 11, we'll start with a collections workshop, and beyond after that we'll start with a multi-threading workshop.
Do you reach like a Spring as well?
No, Spring I wanted to plan, but there are so many tutors who are teaching. So hence I'm focusing on the different things.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Actually, it is my office time, so I have to learn Java 8, 9.
Yeah, what you can do, Paman? You can watch the videos. My video will also be the same. I don't see you can if you are interested, I'm saying, if you're interested, you can enroll for it. You can watch the video, and you can post your question in the WhatsApp. I'm happy to answer it. And sometimes if you have so many doubts, then what you can do, you can join. And sometimes I keep class on some Saturdays, not every Saturday, once in like twice a month, etc. So on the day, Saturday, you will not be having an office, right? You can join the class and clear your doubts.
Yes.
And my way of teaching, guys, every day first 10 to 15 minutes, we are going to rewind or see whatever we have discussed in the previous class. And then we'll start with the current class, and then we'll end with the questions. And my session will not be like one-way interaction, like I continuously keep on speaking. I will explain the topic and then I'll open up for the questions immediately, not end of the session. Like I will break the topic into smaller topics like today. First, I explain what is a Lambda. I've asked for a question, and I've explained in functional interface and asked for a question, right? So it would be an interactive session rather than one-side communication. That is how I follow. So different tutors has a different opinions. So, but my way of teaching would be the interactive sessions. I'll be more happy if you ask the question. Even if I'm not able to answer the question in the live class, that's not a problem. I would be working on that question and I will be answering in the upcoming class. So, guys, whoever is interested, can you please fill this Google form link? Can you please? Because I see only 24 responses. There are around 140 people. Whoever is interested, can you please fill the form? I am sharing the form again in the Google form. Sorry, in the chat. Please fill it ASAP. Any other questions? Anyone?
No, sir. From today, we are clear with Lambda expressions from your help.
Yeah, thanks. So writing the Lambda is very, very important. That is a basic to learn the Java 8. So how the Lambda is working and all, it is very difficult. So what you can do after the class today, just take around 20 minutes of your time and try whatever I have written here. You just try on your own. And then if you're working, you can look at how they have written the Lambda in your project. So that is how you can learn better.
Yes, sir. It's a short code. Very, very short coding.
Yes, sir.
So any other questions, anyone? Do you guys have any questions on my course content of Java 8, 9, 11 or course timing, etc.? So if you do not have any questions, then that's all for today, guys. So soon you can see another workshop from me on the collections. And then I can also plan another free workshop on multi-threading. So you just look at for more updates, you will get to know.
Yes, sir.
Any,
At what time started this one?
can you
Java
please
8.
come again?
At what timing, sir?
So morning 7:30 a.m. See,
Hey,
what are you?
Karthik,
Yeah.
instead of keeping separate, you can put it as a like one, and you like threads and collections. This is Java 8.11, right? So you are putting the separate right batches. You can put it where we can find all.
So that is what you can join parallelly, right? The thing, see, some people will say that so the many of the people are like real-time working, so they don't have much time to join continuously. So they wanted to join and then finish as soon as possible. So that's the reason we earlier these were part of single batch, then later we split it.
Okay.
Okay. And if you see, if I keep club at once, so Java 8, 9, 11, 30 to 40 days, Spring threads 20 days, collection 20 days. Almost it takes 3 months. But if I'm keeping separately, you can attend threads at 9 to 10 morning, and you can attend 7:30 to 8, 8, 9, 11. So within 1.5 months, you can complete the 8, 9, 11 as well as the threads. That means whatever you're doing, trying to do it in learn in 3 months, you are going to learn in 30 days. Right? So that is the advantage we are splitting. Any questions, anyone? So if no question, that's all for today, guys. It was very nice talking to you, all of you. And I hope you find it very useful, today's session. And